Hi, this is Gita again. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the tips and tricks to keep your Romans looking really, really nice. The one question I get asked all the time is, how do you clean your Romans? This is tricky because they're very difficult to clean. You can't take them down. And I really wouldn't recommend using any type of cleaner or even water on your Roman because it can ruin certain fabrics. But if you must, I would turn your Roman kind of a little bit to the backside, and on some of the fabric, just try a little bit of water and see if it doesn't leave a mark. And if it doesn't, you can attempt, but I wouldn't recommend it. What I would recommend is doing a regular vacuuming or dusting of your Roman so you remove the dust so that it doesn't seep into the fabric. Another thing you're going to notice with your Roman after you install it is you may have a few wrinkles. There's something that we recommend to get rid of those wrinkles, and it's to use Downy Wrinkle Releaser. I wouldn't use water to spray on my Romans, and I would stay away from using a steamer. Some natural fibers, when it's steamed, will stretch over time and look a little bit sloppy. What I would do is take your Downy Wrinkle Releaser and spray it all over your Romans, maybe touching it a few more times where you've got an obvious wrinkle. And then with clean fingers, go ahead and pat your Roman down just to kind of help those wrinkles pull their way out. Let your Roman sit for a while after you've sprayed it and allow the wrinkle releaser to dry, and that should eliminate a lot of your wrinkles. If it hasn't, go ahead and do it again. You may need to do it multiple times depending on your fabric type. Some are more stubborn than others. You may notice in the beginning with your Roman, when you lift it up, the folds are not going to come out the way you want them to. So what I would recommend is just for the first 2 weeks, lift your Roman up and take those folds that aren't cooperating and pull them out so that it looks really good. And over time, your fabric is actually going to memorize this shape, and then you'll be able to pull it up without any problem at all. If you've ordered a cordless control system for your Romans, you're going to love it. But there may be a time that you need to make a slight adjustment. There would be two things that you would need to adjust on your cordless control system. One would be if you lock your shade on accident, and the way that happens is if you pull your shade down a little too hard and a little too fast, it could lock on you. The other thing is if your tension is not tight enough, and when you lift up your Roman, it seems a little loose. So those are the two times you would want to make adjustments on your controls. First, what you need to do to make these adjustments is lift your Roman all the way up. Then you're going to come underneath your Roman and find that master wheel that's hooked onto your cylinder. To tighten the shade, grab hold of the cylinder tube with one hand. With the other hand, you're going to take that master carrier wheel and turn it clockwise 1/2 of a turn. If your Roman is going up a little too tight and you want to loosen it just a bit, reach up underneath with one hand, grab that cylinder tube, and with the other hand, grab hold of the master carrier and turn it 1/2 of a turn counterclockwise, and that will release some of the tension. If you've pulled on your shade a little too hard and you've actually locked it, don't worry, there's a very easy way to unlock it. Reach underneath your Roman, grab hold of that cylinder tube with one hand, with the other one, grab hold of the master carrier wheel, and you're going to turn it just 1/4 of a turn clockwise. That should release it with no problem and get it back working just like it did before. If you have any questions at all on operating your Roman, be sure to refer to the operating instruction guide that comes attached to each Roman. All right, that's all the tips and tricks that you need to know to make your Roman function and look perfect.